So the people who might be looked down upon by YouTubers and the people who do piss me off are clippers.
A one-liner comic will come up with a brilliant joke and then think, I better ring Gary Delaney and Milton Jones and Tim Vine and just make sure they haven't done this, or I've nicked it without realising, I better check.
Yeah.
To what extent is YouTube... to what extent, first question, to what extent is it a community? I know you had other YouTubers in your videos. There's a very funny, but one of my favourite moments from the SAS video was with stomping off going, for Narnia. Yeah. Go, this is why we're going to die. Very good. But so to what extent is YouTube a community, and to what extent does it police or not police itself about originality?
So there is definitely trends and a community, and you can see certain types of videos very much being recommended and percolating within the system. So when I started, it was sneak-ins. So there was a lot of creators who were doing a lot of sneak-in videos
getting into a festival by carrying a ladder.
That kind of thing, or sneaking into music, into events. Or that's how I kind of started. I snuck into London Fashion Week and pretended like it's fakery and forgery and stuff like that. So that was big in 2019, 2022. Mm-hmm. Then it moved a lot towards a lot of white wall stuff, a lot of format like studio based. There's one recently about the election, one liberal teen versus 20 MAGA Republicans in a debate.
Yes, I think I've seen
so. Then there's a lot.
I haven't seen that. I've seen 20 seconds of that.
Exactly.
Yeah, great.
And so
I get what this is.
Yeah,
that'd be fascinating. I guess if I was writing an essay, I might be
interesting.
Sure.
So then there was a lot of white wall stuff, and then there started a lot of storytelling stuff. And I am constantly looking at one of the ways you come up with ideation is find a channel that has a huge outlier for them. So a video that's performed way above what they would normally do, try and identify why it's been successful, and then seeing whether you can apply that to one's own channel. Now, that as a result, from the policing perspective, there is no policing. You can, and it's kind of part of the game. Like it's something that you've got to, if they are using your footage, then YouTube will flag that up and say, we have found your footage in this video.
But there is no plagiarism. There's no, someone does a thing, no one is going to call out, or no YouTuber is going to call out someone else and say, that's my idea. You might see it in the comments.
You might see it in the comments, and a YouTuber might be able to get a bit grumble about it, but ultimately,
a bit grumble. Okay. Is that your own phrase?
That's my own phrase. That's a family phrase. Goes back years. You might have a YouTuber who gets a bit cheesed off about it, but ultimately that's the game. I'd give you an idea. One of my best mates in YouTube, called Zach Alsop, he did a fantastic video where he pickpocketed a pickpocket. Yeah. So he got a phone, he left it on the table in Comic Con, waited, and it had a tiny fishing string strapped to the back. Pulls it out of the... Great. Fantastic. About 6 months later, a channel in Poland did the exact same video, the exact same concept, but not only that, they had copied the shots exactly the same and the structure of the video, including all of the voiceover and language, but they've just done it themselves. So they have basically copied the entire video, frame for frame, shot for shot. There's nothing you can do about it. And he was, Zach was a bit annoyed about it. But you're like, I think the internet is a big enough place. Just, just keep going. And you can do it too. If you are in a group of mates, and it might be a nice thing to do in the video to be like, hey, I nicked this straight from Zach, so go check out his video. Sure. But I would never do something like that where I would completely copy another one of my mates, or actually anyone's videos, frame for frame, voiceover for voiceover.
But in terms of the ideation, I noticed you very graciously credited the originator of the airport sign. Yeah. Was it Welcome to Cleveland?
Welcome to Cleveland.
Yeah.
And I'm always thinking, audiences like what they know, so why don't we do it again? So I did a video, one of the biggest things that I did when I started out was I printed my CV on my car and parked it outside Radio 1, right? Because I wanted a job at Radio 1. Okay. That came from, I remember there was a huge article in 2008 after the financial crash. Someone paid for their last £500 for a billboard that said, hire Colin. And it was hirecolin.com, find his CV here. And it got loads of press attention. People found it a really funny story. And I realized, okay, so people find that concept interesting. What can I do? What is my version of that? Okay, well, I've always wanted to work at Radio 1. Okay, a big CV, what could I put it on? I could do a big sandwich board. Oh, I could print it on my car. Great, let's do that. Okay. So you will there will be nods, and the same with the Welcome to Luke. A guy in Cleveland wrote, a guy in Milwaukee wrote Welcome to Cleveland. That's a thing that constantly pops up on meme pages, like, lol, that guy did that. Let me do my own version of that. And
so that's the starting point for you, is to go, I like that thing that someone else thought of.
Yeah.
I'll do a version of it.
Yeah.
And why did you include crediting him in the video?
Because I knew that people would say it in the comments, and I thought, it's only right just to mention that this guy has done it before, and I want to do my own version. And it's like a 5-second kind of throwaway like bit of exposition. Actually, if anything, it builds a richer narrative about the story.
Yes, and also it proves that you physically went and visited him, and it's almost like you've put the money on the screen sort of thing. You're I do. This is my job. I flew out there and met him and talked to him about it.
This is what's happened, and it's kind of like the old playground-esque thing of like bullies. Like if a bully says, "Oh, you've got glasses," like, "Yeah, I do have glasses. Yeah, I can't see." Can't see. It's removing all the power from anybody that might say.
How would you feel if in 20 years a new holographic YouTuber or whatever we have then did the welcome to whatever it is thing and came and visited you? Like, do you know what I mean?
I'm fine with it. Because
what about if they did it next year?
Fine.
Okay.
Because I've done
the idea, like, it's almost like that's another. I'm trying to find the parallels with stand-up. I think one of the joys of stand-up is in expressing your own original ideas, and so it is so extraordinary to hear a very sort of friendly, positive unpacking of, not like a complete reversal of that, like and that's very much part of exactly what we're talking about, the huge changes that are happening now and presumably will continue to happen forever.
Yeah.
Now. Well, for as long as there's an internet.
And I just think that you can fight against it and be incredibly, bitter about it. Yeah. Again, I'm not suggesting that if they are making your video shot for shot and like ripping it and doing
but what's the difference? Why would that be any worse?
Because I think then there has been no original thought as to how the video is going to exist or what it looks like or what is your take on it.
Okay, so what about if they did an original idea but a shot for shot version of a video? Would that be okay? Do you know what I mean? Like if the idea, if someone did. You did your, I don't know which one, the briefly becoming the richest person in the world.
Yeah.
If someone did a different idea, but they stole the shots and the rhythm and the beats of you writing the thing and getting I've heard, I think I'm in trouble, and they stuff, like, would that trouble you?
No. Because also, like, there's no, who are you going to police this with? The audience will say, oh, actually, that's a Max Fosh, that's Max Fosh's shot list. What are you doing?
Yeah.
What am I going to do? I'm going to call up YouTube like, Sir,
please.
Sir, he's done that.
Yeah.
And hopefully you're putting the faith in the audience to know the difference between, like, okay, this has been done before, and this is the original. But I think it's kind of like pissing to the wind. It's like no one cares. The amount of,
yes, but that's a different argument? Like, is it okay, or is it just not policeable? Or does the fact it's not policeable mean, well, I guess it has to be okay then?
I think whether it's okay is such a grey area.
Yeah.
And we know it's definitely not going to be policeable.
Yeah.
And there's one of my mates made a whole video about content thieves.
And tell me about that.
There is
who is looked down upon, who is policed,
who is looked down upon. So the people who might be looked down upon by YouTubers and the people who do piss me off are clippers. Now, clippers are people who will go onto YouTube and they will take a video that's just come out or a video that's trending or a video that's doing well. They will then format that into, let's say, portrait. Mm-hmm. They will add subtitles as well as some Subway Surfer gameplay or kinetic sand. Mm-hmm. And then they will upload it onto a short form platform like TikTok or Instagram, where they will get paid because it will get a certain amount of views. And they know that, hey, this is a video that people are enjoying on a different platform.
Yeah.
So if I format it for another platform and post it, you could argue that the audience will also like it on that platform.
Yeah.
And then they will get money for that. So there is a guy who basically vlogs himself, like, day in the life of a professional clipper that makes $20,000 a month, right? Yeah. And all it is him on his phone, screen recording popular things on YouTube, adding, Subway Surfer or Kinetic Sand underneath, putting subtitles over the top, making it super, super attention grabby, here, uploading onto TikTok and making lots of money. I abhor those people because there has been absolutely no creativity or thought or craftsmanship in that whatsoever. That is purely playing the system. Now, the Clippers argument, and that is, I think that is definitely intellectual property theft. Because you are taking someone's...
More so than you doing the same joke as someone who's already done a joke and you do their joke your way. And that's different.
Because you have added a little bit of your own thought process into that by making it to you. So the Clippers argument will be, hey, we're exposing your content to newer audiences. You should be really happy about that. And everyone, like the original YouTubers, like, no, but there's nothing you can do. It's a different platform. It's run by a different company. And like, yes, then you kind of then have to just slightly throw your hands down and be like, yeah, I guess more people are seeing my stuff, and hopefully that means when they see my face again when they go on YouTube that they're like, oh, that's that guy. I think I'll watch their video. But they're making money off of the content that has been made by somebody else. And so Clippers, I do think, what am I going to say? Oh, I don't think they should do what they do. They're gonna. It's the internet. It's the Wild West, and also TikTok doesn't give a shit if this video has been made on YouTube elsewhere. What are they going to do? Like a big police meeting, like, right, well, that was done by Stuart and that was actually done by Max. So we should probably take this video down. So again, it's a little bit of, which is probably why I had the attitude towards the comedians at my first Fringe of the not accepting was like, what's the point? Why? Like, stop. I can't put any more like emotional weight into trying to either stop the clipping or try and be one of the gang. So yes, I do think that there's a problem in that world, but ultimately just got to try and make the best will always rise to the top of content.